Hey, what's going on? I hope that you are doing good. Today, I want to talk about hardware versus software. And I know I talk about that topic a lot on this channel. However, I am going through this thing where I feel like I need to buy a new piece of hardware. Even though I know that I don't need a new piece of hardware, I'm currently looking at the drum log, and then I'm also looking at polyphonic analog synths. But it doesn't necessarily have to be analog oscillators. I could do analog filters or an analog overdrive or an analog bucket delay. I don't care. I want something that's like a little bit different than software. And it's making me wonder, like, why am I feeling that way? Like, why do I feel like I need to have a piece of hardware when I know that in a couple of months, I'm just gonna sell it. I'm gonna sell it because I'm gonna get bored with it. I keep on coming back to this thought. Why does this feel so much better than this? Why does this, the Korg Poly 6, this beautiful piece of hardware from the 80s, why does this feel so much better than this right here? I've been thinking about this so much over the past week. Why is it that the hardware seems so much more exciting and does all the dopamine stuff over a piece of software whenever an app like Korg Gadget has all of these vintage synths that cost thousands of dollars? Why is it so difficult? And I think that one of the answers to that is that it's not easy. I don't think it's so much a hardware versus software argument. It's more of an ease of access. So in terms of ease of access, here's an example. I shoot my videos on a Canon M50 and I use a lens adapter, and I'm using a nifty 50 lens on there. And it makes the camera quite bulky, so I don't necessarily take it around with me. I purchased a 24mm lens, and it makes the camera really nice and cute and small, and I'm able to throw it into my sling bag. And since I've started using that, all of a sudden I find myself throwing it in my bag, taking more pictures, not because I bought a new big piece of gear, but because it's smaller and it's easier. You need to make it easy. With that being said, let me show you what is not easy. Bear with me. Here's what's not easy. This is not easy. And I recognize that this is sort of like first world problem-y, but I think when it comes down to the convenience of being able to create music, we should be able to make it easy. And if it's too difficult, then you're just not gonna do it. This is not convenient to me. And I know that there's probably a better way to do it, but the KeyStep 37, it's just a little bit bigger and it needs power because the iPad can't power the KeyStep 37 alone. You've got a power cable running from the battery to the camera kit, and then that camera kit adapter is plugged into the iPad, and then you need another USB cable to run into your MIDI controller. That's kind of a lot already. You know, besides just carrying around your MIDI controller, you also need to make sure that you have three different cables, your battery, and your device. It's kind of a lot, right? It doesn't take too long to set it up, and you could just have it bundled up like I do. That works, right? But here's the other thing. Let me move this out the way real quick. Oh, beans. I have Korg Gadget on my phone. Yeah, this is a little better, right? Because I'm always carrying my phone around with me. So that makes sense that this doesn't feel like an extra device. It's not my iPad. I'm not going to set up my iPad. But this is still too big, I think, for it to be something that's sort of mobile and easy. Now, it is nice that I have all of these keys, right, and that I can actually play, like, you know, bigger interval chords. Is that the term, interval? However, it's just a little too big. It's too bulky. And I found, what I think is a solution. So I'm still gonna buy something, but it's gonna be cheaper. The IK Multimedia iRig Keys 2 Mini, it's too many words, but this thing is really, really sick. It's just like a little small MIDI controller, right? It's 12 inches by 4.5 inches by 1 inch or 1.5 inches. Okay, I'll finish my little rant on this. I have an image that pops into my head a lot. It's a tech talk video with Boris Brecha, his studio, like the image of his studio, it is crazy to me. When you think about the quality of music that Boris is able to put out, how far reaching his music is, and then if you look at this man's studio, it is a MIDI controller 2 monitors, and a computer. That's it. That's the whole thing, right? And it sticks with me. I love the elegance of it. I just think that that's super cool. Thanks for hanging out. It's just me trying to figure out how to get as excited about VSTs or being able to have vintage synths inside of my pocket as I would be about owning one of these synths, right? Right here, having a Poly 6 in my pocket. So I'm trying to make that leap, and hopefully if I can find some hacks and get into it, then I'll share those with you. Listen, my partner Abigail just dropped an album called Hybrids. The project is called The Shape of Sanctum, and if you get a chance to listen to it, I would be super grateful for it. It was a big effort. Our friend Jackson did the mastering on it, and the project is just super, super cool. Check that out if you get a chance. I just dropped an EP a couple of weeks ago. It's called Movement, and I'd be grateful if you took a listen to that as well. Otherwise, I hope that you have a good one. See you later. Bye.